hooked to a ventilator, fighting for his life. No, Kremlin critic Alexey Navalny doesn't have COVID-19. Instead, his only pre-existing condition seems to be defying Russia's President Vladimir Putin. On August 20, Navalny fell severely ill after drinking a cup of tea at Tomsk airport. After boarding his flight to Moscow, video emerged of him crying out in pain. His spokesperson said he was poisoned. Immediately, all fingers pointed to the Kremlin and the long history of Russian dissidents falling mysteriously ill after drinking a hot beverage.
The most prominent critic of President Putin's government, he collapsed on a flight from Siberia to Moscow, suffering from suspected poisoning. Mr. Navalny's been imprisoned several times for organizing protests.
Not to be outdone, pro-Kremlin media outlets and government officials started pushing a different narrative: blame the victim. On the widely used Telegram app, pro-government sources started spreading alleged misinformation that Navalny's sickness was a result of drinking too much alcohol the day before. State-run TASS media wrote that the government has not ruled out that he drank or took something himself yesterday. And this pro-Kremlin news source also pushed the alcohol angle, saying Navalny drank moonshine. But Navalny's press secretary refuted all the claims, saying Navalny did not drink or take any medication the night before falling ill. But it seems like the Kremlin had a backup plan if the alcohol poisoning story didn't sell. RT's editor-in-chief, Margarita Simonyan, came up with a theory that Navalny's low blood sugar levels put him into a coma. She probably got the idea from this doctor, who coincidentally was the head physician at the Omsk hospital when Navalny was being treated.
Основной из таких рабочих диагнозов, к которому мы больше всего склоняемся, это нарушение углеводного баланса, то бишь нарушение обмена веществ. Вызвано это может быть резким понижением сахара в крови.
Navalny's family and supporters requested that he receive treatment in Berlin, away from the Kremlin's praying eyes. But health officials initially refused, saying the Omsk hospital was just as capable as this one in Berlin. Navalny's spokesperson stepped in once more, tweeting a photo of the toilet at the Omsk hospital to prove otherwise. After international pressure mounted, Navalny was finally allowed to be taken to Berlin's Charité hospital. But Russian doctors had delayed his transportation for 48 hours, saying his medical condition didn't allow him to travel. They were accused of killing time to allow the toxins to drain out of his system. Once Navalny arrived at the Charité clinic in Berlin, it was confirmed that he was indeed poisoned.
The team of doctors has examined the patient thoroughly after his arrival. The clinical findings indicate intoxication by a substance from the clonirastase inhibitor group. The specific substance has not been identified so far, and a further wide-ranging analysis has been initiated.
Cholinesterase inhibitors are an ingredient found in pesticides and chemical warfare nerve agents. And it was the very same chemical that was used in an attack on Sergei Skripal in 2018, an ex-Russian spy who became a double agent for the UK. British authorities had said Russian intelligence was behind it, but Moscow denied any involvement. But Navalny and Skripal fit a long-established pattern, a pattern where prominent Kremlin critics mysteriously get poisoned.
The former Russian spy turned MI6 informant and Kremlin critic, poisoned by a rare radioactive substance.
Another case is Viktor Yushchenko. In 2004, he was a Ukrainian opposition leader running against Moscow's preferred candidate. He fell ill after having dinner with Ukrainian security officials.
Perhaps the most well-known is Anna Politkovskaya. Like Navalny, she drank a tea while traveling. The drink, she said, was laced.
Now, despite this damning conclusion from German doctors in this latest episode, the Kremlin dismissed those results and said there were no grounds for a probe. But even though there isn't concrete proof, one thing is certain. If you fall on bad terms with the Kremlin, there's a real chance you might get your tea spiked, and not with alcohol.